In this video, I'll show you how we can host our own API server. So for all my web services, I recommend to use Docker, Postgres as a database. So in this particular tutorial, I'll be showing you how we can integrate API service with the Postgres database. So these are the two VMs that I'm running. One is Docker engine, another is Postgres database. So Postgres is there and then the Docker engine is there. So this Docker is hosting, of course, various applications. You can see its IP addresses here right now. The guest agent is also running Proxmox guest agent that is showing me the IP address of this server. And here is the Postgres and here also the agent is running. So what I can do, I can simply access these both servers right now using SSH terminal. So here I'm using Postgres and Docker. You can see these are both here. So Postgres is running right now. If I show you the system status of Postgres uh, SQL, you can see here it is running right now. So database is running 23 hours ago. It was installed and right now it is working. So this is one of the best RDBMS when it comes to the open source. Of course, whether it is MariaDB or MySQL, you can use that. But for the web applications, I always recommend to use the Postgres. I have also configured it in a way that I should be able to access it from my local network. So PG admin is something that I use to connect to it. So let me show you traditional desktop application. We connect database. We have, for example, the application, which is desktop application, and then we have the database here. But this is not the right approach to use. So your application should not directly talk to the database. If I talk about web application, so your web application should not talk to the database. So you should have an API server here. So you should have something called the API gateway. From your application, you can call the API. Whatever API is required to be accessed, you call that. That API is directly talking to database. So whatever CRUD commands you will be running from your web application, whether it is to create, to read, to update, or to delete, it will be through API server. Your application won't be directly accessing the entire database. This is the web application, which is your front end, and this is your backend, which is your API server, and this is the database, which is in fact the RDBMS, or it could be any database in fact. In previous video, I have already shown how to create the database. Well, we created the Postgres database, which is already there right now. So in this scenario, we'll be using Postgres. So Postgres database is already there, and then we'll be using API server. So for this, I will be creating PostgreST and Swagger. So Swagger will be used for the documentation and so on, and then the API server. So then we will see the web application. So here you can use any web application. You can develop web application using any latest platforms which are available, whether it is Lovable, whether it is Base 44, whether it is Emergent.sh or any other platform. You can have your own database hosted, but the front end can be developed in any of the platforms. So let me now show you what we have done. So I have already installed PostgreSQL, which you have already seen. We did it in previous videos. Of course, the IP address is same. I can use localhost also here because I'm accessing from the same server. And this was the Postgres password. Here I'm in my database. So you can see here it is my database and I'm right now connected. But I will be simply exiting this right now because everything is working, and I have already shown you how you can get started with this. Now I will simply exit the Postgres database because I'm not looking for it. I'm looking at Docker right now. So in order to create, I have provided the details of Docker Compose. These are many services which are running. So one of the service that I created is my API. You can see this is the Docker Compose stack. So let me open that cd my API, and you will see there are two files which are available. One is the Postgres configuration. So let me open the Postgres configuration for you, so you will see what is there. So sudo nano postgres, it's postgres.conf. So if you see here, this is the Postgres configuration. So where the DB URI is host, which is 10.11.12.40, which I already shown you in my Proxmox. I created this. Of course, if you are hosting it on cloud, this is also going to be extremely simple. On cloud, you can have the Postgres database and you can have the application server also on the same cloud infrastructure, so that API application can talk to Postgres. So we are creating right now the application that will be talking to the database. Within the cloud, you will have the local IP addresses, so you can add the private IP address, or you can even add the private DNS here also. And its port, right now I'm using port 2050 on my Postgres database. And then the database name is my database. The user, I created a new user called PostgREST underscore user. You can use any user if you already know how to create it. Otherwise, the commands are already available. And then is the password. Once the password is added, you will simply mention here DB schema. You can add a new DB schema also, but I have added public. And here role is web and all, which I have already created, by the way. So in Postgres, if you already know how to add the new database, how to add the new schema, how to create the new role, so only this role can access this particular database, any host, and then the server port will be 3000. That I'll show you how it is done. This is the configuration file for PostgreST. So PostgreST is one of the images. In fact, this is one of the applications. So I can show you PostgreST. This is the REST API for the existing Postgres database. So I'm using this one. It has been a long time, so I thought let me share this with you also. So here is the configuration that we talked about. First configuration was Postgres configuration, PostgreST configuration, which is the container configuration. And in this, we have defined the database server name, database server, IP address, and all of that. Now I will show you the Docker Compose, which is going to be the stack for my application. So let me see. Here is the content of this, and let me show you the content of Docker Compose.yaml. So let me show you what is there. Sudo nano, and here is the Docker Compose.yaml. So how it starts, there are multiple services which are running. One is the PostgreST and another is Swagger UI. So Swagger UI is one of the best ways to have the documentation of your API server. So API server which I'll be running will be PostgreST. Its image will be directly coming from the image which is Docker Hub. The image name is this, and it is of course the latest image. And then it will be running on a port 3000, and the same port we have already defined inside the Postgres configuration. You can see here that it will be using the Postgres configuration and it will be mapping it to the internal container. And then these are the commands that it will be running to check the Postgres configuration. I have created a network within it, which is my API net and my API net, so that these both applications can talk to each other. And then if you can see here, image for the Swagger UI is again Swagger API, Swagger UI, and container name is Swagger UI, and restart unless stopped, and its port is 9080. It is talking to internal port 8080. Environment URI will be 10.11.12.120 in case DNS doesn't work. So right now, as I mentioned, that this Docker engine is 10.11.12.120. So depending upon what will be your IP address, you can use that, and API net is fine. So you can see just a simple configuration. So your Postgres API will be talking to the Postgres database. Swagger UI will be showing you the documentation. So let me run this container now. So it will be two containers. In fact, within the Docker Compose, as you can see, two services are running. So one container is PostgreST, another is Swagger UI. So we will be running this now. I will do sudo docker compose up with the detached mode. So it has started already because the images were already downloaded. So otherwise it will download the image and it will start. So let me see sudo docker ps. So you can see here right now there are various services which are running, and I'm interested to see the Swagger and the PostgreST. So now how we can access, of course, as I mentioned, one is on port 3000, another is on port 9080. So let me show you how it will work. So if I open 10.11.12.120 and port 3000, you can see here that all the API, but in order to check the API documentation, I will be going with 10.11.12.120, the 9080 port. And here you can see it is already taking the default environment. And if I explore this, these are all the tables that I have created. All the CRUD commands are here. So get, post, delete, and patch. If I check, for example, contact, so if I click on get contact, so you can see all the parameters here. And within those parameters, you can see that I can even have that payload also here. And then if I execute this, I can directly execute from here. I'll also try it out and then simply execute this. So you can see after execution, what is the status? 200, it is okay, and example value is here. So this way you can have now the API server ready at your Homelab. So this is a complete documentation that you can use for your application. And whenever you want to develop any application, for example, if you are using base 44, lovable, or anything, you can just provide this URL. So this setup will help you to do it within few minutes. In fact, if you are not using Proxmox virtual environment, you can also use cloud, and on cloud you can have the database as a service, and then you can create Docker Compose, one application which will be running two services within it. And as I have mentioned, this is the Docker Compose, which will be, you can take the content of this. I will be sharing this also, sudo nano docker compose.yaml. So you can see this is the content. So two services, Swagger and PostgREST. So these are two services. PostgREST will be creating a RESTful API for the database. It is PostgREST, and this is dynamic, by the way. So dynamic in a sense that if you create any new table into the PostgreSQL, it will be immediately available within your Swagger documentation. So if you are developing the application and you want to make sure that your application is able to talk to the new tables or new fields within the table, so it will be instantly available even without restarting the service. So this is the best way I thought I must share with you, because it will save tons of your time. So let's continue to next video now.